है मीन मीडियन मोड. बट in this analytics class we should understand why this is used. मीन मीडियन मोड कैलकुलेशन करना तो बहुत इजी है, लेकिन हम लोग क्यों यूज कर रहे हैं और इसका यूज क्या है रियल टाइम डेटा में, तो इस पार्ट को हम लोगों को ज्यादा अंडरस्टैंड करना है. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मेजर्स ऑफ सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी जो है, आप नेम में ही है सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी. आपका कोई भी डेटा है उसका सेंट्रल वैल्यू पे और सेंट्रल वैल्यूज के ऊपर आप डिसीजंस बनाओगे. सो दीज आर measures of central tendency are statistical tools which will revolve around the central point of the data. So this measures of central tendency will summarize the data by identifying one central point, so or one value, which helps us to understand about or make decisions about the data. So this measures of central tendency is also called as the heart of the data, and measure of central location, and also summary statistic. So there are three most common measures: mean, median, and mode. So in today's class, let us start with understanding what is mean. Mean, first of all, mean is also called as arithmetic mean, and it is also called as average also. So it is very simple. So here for calculation of mean, we will add all the values in the given set and divide it by the count of the numbers. So mean value in a set of numbers, it is calculated by summing all the numbers in the set and then dividing by counting of the numbers. So this is the definition of mean. And how do you calculate it? This is the formula. आपको इस formula को याद रखना है. So mean can be calculated using this formula. This particular symbol represents mean. So what does this mean is x bar. You will read it as x bar. X bar represents mean is equal to summation of x divided by n. Summation of x means addition of all the numbers given in the set, and n is the number of items or the count of numbers in the given set. So this is how you calculate the mean. And this formula you will use when you are calculating it for the discrete data set. So एक और फॉर्मूला है जो आप यूज करोगे जब आपको मीन कैलकुलेशन करना है फॉर ग्रुप डेटा. So the formula goes like this: summation of f of x divided by summation of f. F is nothing but the frequency of each value of x. So this formula you have to remember for calculations. So x bar is the mean, and x represents each individual value, and n is the number of observations in the sample, and f represents the frequency of each value x, and this is how we use. So let us look at some of examples. So here you can see that example number 1. So यहाँ पे आपको डेटा दिया है कि 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, right? So how do you calculate mean? You have to add all the numbers which is given in the set, that is 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10, and divide it by number of items in the set. So how many numbers are there here? So there are totally 5 numbers. So 2, 4, 6 and 8. So there are 5 numbers. So we will divide it by 5. So what is the sum of all numbers? It is 30 divided by 5. You will get answer as 6, which is your mean or also called as average. And we have another data, example number 2. 9, 6 minus 3, 2 minus 7 and 1. So how to calculate mean? First you have to take the sum, that is your summation of x, which means you will add all the numbers. So what you will get for this particular data? Answer as 8. Mean, how will you calculate? Summation of x divided by count of the numbers. So there are totally 6 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 8 divided by 6, you will get the value 1.33. So this is how mean is calculated. It is very simple and very easy to calculate as well. So this is most common measure of central tendency which we can use for both discrete data and continuous data. So आपने जो ये एग्जाम्पल देखा है ये डिस्क्रीट डेटा है जो कि होल नंबर होता है हमेशा. तो आप मीन कैलकुलेशन कंटिन्यूअस डेटा पे भी आप कर सकते हो. So for discrete data, so let us see another example. We have ages of 5 individuals, 25, 30, 35, 40 and 45. Suppose if you want to calculate mean. So how will you calculate the mean? So this is the formula. X bar is equal to summation of x divided by n. Summation of x is add all the numbers. That will be 25 plus 30 plus 35 plus 40 plus 45 will give you answer as 175. And divide that by number of items in the set. So how many numbers are there? 5 numbers. 175 divided by 5 is 35, which is your mean calculation. So this is for discrete data. For continuous data, again same formula. So continuous data यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, डेटा को ऑब्जर्व करो, यहाँ पे डेसिमल पॉइंट्स में है. So this is your continuous data. So again same method. So what you have to do for calculation? Add all the numbers. X bar is equal to summation of x. Summation of x is you will add all the numbers and divide it by count of the numbers. So there are total 5 numbers. So 339.5 divided by 5, which is 67.9. So yeah, this is some of the examples of our mean calculations using different types of data set. Next example. So observe here in this format data how it is given. यहाँ पे data एक group data format में है जहाँ पे 60 to 70 frequency 5. So this is the student grades with frequencies. So आपको हो सकता है कि ऐसा डेटा टाइप भी मिले. So grade और frequency. इसका मतलब क्या है? 60 to 70 के रेंज में ग्रेड में there are 5 students who have got grades in this range, and for 70 to 80 range में there are 8 students, and 80 to 90 range there are 7 students. So this is how you understand the data firstly. So your data type here is group data. So for this also you can mean in group data. Step number 1, you have to calculate this column, which is your x column. So what is x? X is called the midpoint. So how do you calculate the midpoints? So यहाँ पे आप क्लास इंटरवल को ऑब्जर्व करोगे जो कि है 60 to 70. So फर्स्ट स्टेप में आपको x कॉलम कैलकुलेट करना है. तो x आप कैसे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो? आपको अपना क्लास इंटरवल लेना है, दोनों को ऐड करके डिवाइडेड बाय 2 करना है. यहाँ पे 60 to 70 केस में आप क्या करोगे? You will do 60 plus 70 divided by 2. All right. So 60 plus 70 is how much? 130. 130 divided by 2 आप करोगे तो आपको क्या मिलेगा? 65. Okay. So this is how you calculate the midpoint. First midpoint. Second में आपको क्या करना है? 70 plus 80 divided by 2. You will get midpoint 75, and 80 plus 90 divided by 2, 85. So ये आपको क्या हो गया? फर्स्ट स्टेप में आपको x कॉलम मिल गया. So after you have calculated the x column, then the second step is to calculate the f into x column. F into x column, as the name itself, you have to multiply frequency and x column. So first 325 आपको कैसे मिलेगा? 5 into 65 is equal to 325 is your first f into x. Second, 8 into 75 is equal to 600 is your f into x, and 7 into 85 is equal to 595, which is your f into x. फर्स्टली आपको x कैलकुलेट करना है, x कॉलम. सेकेंड स्टेप में आपको f into x कॉलम कैलकुलेट करना है. So after this you have calculated this both the columns, you have to come back and find out what is the mean. Mean formula आपको याद है तो ये वाला summation of f x into n, ये आप discrete कंटिन्यूअस डेटा में यूज करोगे. नेक्स्ट आपको ग्रुप डेटा में ये फॉर्मूला यूज करना है, जो कि है समेशन ऑफ f इंटू एक्स डिवाइडेड बाय समेशन ऑफ f. सो समेशन ऑफ f इंटू एक्स जो है, ये जो है टोटल 325 प्लस 600 प्लस 595, ये आपका समेशन ऑफ f इंटू एक्स है, डिवाइडेड बाय समेशन ऑफ f. समेशन ऑफ f इज योर टोटल ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी कॉलम, जो आपको मिलेगा 5 प्लस 8 प्लस 7 करके, जो कि है 20. बस ये कैलकुलेट करने के बाद आपको फॉर्मूला में डालना है. सो विच विल बी 1520 डिवाइडेड बाय 20, विच इज द मीन ऑफ योर ग्रुप डेटा इज 76. Okay, it is very easy to calculate. First you have to understand what is the type of data. Okay, I think there are many questions on this. Yes, mean is called average of the data. Am I audible clearly? आपको यहाँ तक समझ में आ गया है ना? Mean calculations for discrete data, continuous data and group data. Okay. So next है ना, so you manually, आपको समझ में आ गया कि मैन्युअली कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है, मीन कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है. अगर आपको सेम डेटा आपको एक्सेल यूज करके करना है, तो लेट अस सी हाउ टू कैलकुलेट इट. Arvind, do you, if you have any questions, can you please drop in the chat box? अभी तक हमने जो भी फॉर्मूलाज यूज किए, लाइक एग्जांपल्स यूज किया है. आप फर्स्ट केस में, आई होप माय स्क्रीन इज विजिबल गाइस. सी, फर्स्ट केस में हम लोगों ने यही वाला डेटा यूज किया था, जो कि डिस्क्रीट इन नेचर है, राइट. सो यही डेटा यूज किया था. सपोज आपके पास यही डेटा है और लार्जर डेटा सेट है, आप एक्सेल में कैसे यूज कर सकते? मीन, एवरेज, अरिथमेटिक, ऑल आर नथिंग बट द सेम. So how do you calculate in Excel? So there is a direct formula in Excel. So I have taken the same data which we used as an example. So आपको कैसे calculate करना है? Is equal to average function. So there is already predefined function in Excel called as average. So you can see average is equal to, you have to select the numbers. So our numbers are from 25, 30 to 35. That will be B2, B6 cell. So if you complete the formula like this, you will get the average, which is nothing but the mean or average or even arithmetic mean. Okay. And my screen is not visible. Still not visible. Is it visible now? Now also it is not visible. I have reshared my screen. Is it visible? Yes. Okay, I'll re-explain you once again very quickly. So I have taken the same data here, 25, 30, 35, which is वी टुक इन द प्रीवियस एग्जांपल. सो आपको क्या करना है, एक्सेल में ऑलरेडी प्री बिल्ट फंक्शन है जो फॉर्मूला जो है एक्सेल में इज इक्वल टू एवरेज. सो जो कि है प्री डिफाइंड फंक्शन. यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट दैट एंड सेलेक्ट द डेटा. सो यहाँ पे 25, 30, 35, 45 जो कि B2 to B6 सेल में है. आपको बस ब्रैकेट कंप्लीट करना है. Then you will get the mean. So which is 35, right? Which was same when we calculated it manually. So you can calculate it using other numbers also. So you can easily calculate in Excel. So one more data set I have here. That is second one, which is the data set here is continuous data. कंटिन्यूअस डेटा. सो यहाँ पे भी आप मीन कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो एक्सेल में. आपको सेम फंक्शन यूज करना है, एवरेज इज इक्वल टू एवरेज एंड देन द नंबर्स. So here my numbers are starting from B8 cell to B12 cell. So I have selected those cells and enter. So I am getting the mean of 67.9. So this is how you calculate mean in Excel. So अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है या ग्रुप डेटा है तो एक्सेल में ऐसा कोई डायरेक्ट फंक्शन नहीं है जो कि आप यूज करके कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो. यहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा मैन्युअली करना है. तो आप एक्स कैसे कैलकुलेट करोगे? You will take add both the upper limit and the lower limit of the like your given class interval, then you will divide it by 2. So what I have here is 60 plus 70 divided by 2. Okay, so similarly you will do it for others as well. 70 plus 80 divided by 2. And last में 80 plus 90 divided by 2. So manually you have calculated the midpoints. X is nothing but the midpoint. And next आपको क्या calculate करना है? F into X is equal to F is 5 into X is 65. Similarly, calculate for all the columns, so you will get the answer. So what is the formula for mean when you have the frequency distribution? So you will summation of f of x. So you will use the sum function and select all your f into x divided by sum of frequency column. So what is your frequency column here? 5, 8 and 7. So what you are getting here, the mean as 76. So this is how you can calculate the mean in the Excel. So you can observe here. So the mean which will be calculated manually and Excel gives the same answer. I hope till now it is clear. Next, let us understand what are the properties of mean. So properties of mean, there are 3 important things which you have to remember about the mean. That is, sum of deviation from mean is always 0. That is, summation of x minus x bar is always 0. Which means आप जब भी कोई भी वैल्यू को अपने मीन से आप डिडक्ट करोगे तो वो उसका वैल्यू हमेशा 0 आएगा. Okay, sum of so the deviations from, if there is a central point, from that if you're deducting the deviation, that will be 0. And second important property is shift in the mean by addition or subtraction will also be shift in the same number will be shifted in mean also. Suppose if you are adding p to each value, then the mean will, this is just hypothetical, mean will also be increasing with the p value. सपोज आपका जो डेटा अभी एग्जिस्टिंग डेटा है, आपको बस एक ही वैल्यू से हर डेटा को आप ऐड कर रहे हो, तो वहां पे क्या हो जाता है, आपका मीन भी उसी नंबर से एड अप हो जाएगा. सेम केस इन सब्सट्रैक्शन ऑल्सो. इफ यू सब्सट्रैक्ट p value in each from each value, your mean will also decrease by that p value. And scaling mean by multiplication. If you are multiplying each value of the data set by p, so the mean will also be multiplied by p. So these are three important properties which you have to remember about the mean. Next, when not to use the mean. So mean कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं और क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है ये हम समझ गए. तो अब when we will not use the mean, when should we not? So जब भी आपको डेटा सेट मिलता है, आपको first of all you need to observe the data. Okay, so when you observe the data, then you will understand whether to use the mean or not to use the mean. So mean जो है एक statistical tool है जिसको आप यूज करके interpretations कर रहे हो, insights gain कर रहे हो. So whenever you have data with outliers, meaning extreme values, that time you should not use the mean, because it affects the values of your mean values. Okay, so mean due to bias, which means it can if the data has very high values or very low values, then so suppose there is a factory with 10 staff members. So all are earning salaries in thousands, like let's say example 15,000, 18,000, 16,000, and so on. This is the data. So if you calculate mean of this, when you add average salary is 30.7K, right? So 30.7K, 30,700 जो कि आपका मीन आ जाएगा. इससे आप इंटरप्रेट क्या कर सकते हो? आप बोल सकते हो कि ये फैक्ट्री में ऑन एंड एवरेज सबको 30,000 तो मिल ही जाएगा. ये डिसीजन पे आप आ जाओगे. लेकिन जो कि रियलिटी में आप देखोगे, यहाँ पे 10 में से 8 लोग हैं जिनको 30, जिनका सैलरी 30 के बिलो है, 18K है, जो कि एवरेज सैलरी बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. तो आपका यहाँ पे डिसीजन क्या हो रहा है? रॉन्ग हो रहा है. सो why it is getting affected? If you observe, there are two people who are getting more salary, 90,000 and 95,000. So because of these two salaries, your mean is getting affected. So the mean is inflated by two high scores. So in reality, what is happening, and by your statistical analysis, decisions can be wrong. So that is why you should not use the mean when there are outliers. So in another case, when you should not use mean is when the data is little bit skewed. Skewed distribution means when it is not symmetrical. यहाँ पे मैंने एक एग्जांपल लिया है. जब भी आप डेटा को एक ग्राफ पे प्लॉट करोगे, आप देख सकते हो कि लेफ्ट अगर आप मिड पॉइंट से आप मेजर करोगे, लेफ्ट और राइट में डेटा वैल्यू सेम नहीं है. राइट में थोड़ा सा ज्यादा टेल है, ज्यादा कर्व्ड है. सो ऐसे टाइप ऑफ डेटा को हम लोग स्क्यू डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस कहते हैं. तो ऐसे टाइम पे भी हम लोग मीन यूज नहीं करेंगे. सो व्हेनेवर देयर इज distribution where there is tails, skewness is there, whether left or right, that time you should not rely on mean. For example, you have exam scores like 30, 35, 45. So in this case, you can see right sides thoda skewness hai. There is longer tail on the right side. So what will, when you calculate mean here, it will be higher. Mean will be different because of this value. There is one extreme value that is 90. So because of this, your mean value can be different. So most of the students have scored 55. The mean might come little bit higher. So in these cases also, you should not use the mean. Two cases when you should not use the statistical tool mean. Okay, So whenever data is given to you, so you should not blindly trust the mean. So you should take the decision, you should understand how is your data and what is your shape of data and what is the context of it, then make the decisions. Okay. So how can I get a demo Excel for practice sheet? So you can randomly take any data for practicing purposes. Even in your learning materials also, there are some data which is manually calculated. You can same use for Excel calculation, so you can see. Or also on web, easily you can get some of the data. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, I will share your slides and the demo like sheets also, so you can practice on that. Riya Gupta, Arvind, you have any questions? Adarsh, you can drop me in the chat box, or you can unmute and speak if it is like option is available. I'll share you the slides, or else in the next session I will re-show you before we'll recap for 5 minutes and then we'll go further. Saurabh and Devendra Kumar for your reference. Riya Gupta, you don't have any questions? I see that you have raised hands. Adarsh, Pratyay.
मैम लास्ट 3 स्लाइड्स जो है वो शो नहीं हुआ था, स्क्रीन आपका एक्सेल ही रह गया था। उसको अगर प्लीज़ दिखा देते तो हमारा कन्फ्यूजन दूर हो जाएगा मैम। जो आपने प्रॉपर्टीज बताया एंड कहाँ पे मीन यूज़ नहीं करना है, जो ग्राफ दिखाया किताब में तो साइड में ओपन कर लिया तो देख रहे हैं, वही आप एग्जांपल बताए, बट पीपीटी शो नहीं हुआ था मैम।
ठीक,
वो एक बार जस्ट दिखा देते तो हो जाता मैम।
नहीं अब हम दोबारा से रिकैप कर देंगे, फ्रीज हुआ था
ओके
ना,
ओके
इससे
मैम,
सब
थैंक यू।
सारे स्टूडेंट्स को यूज हो जाए।
थैंक यू मैम।
Mohammad Izhar, there is no business intelligence tools as part of the syllabus. So yeah, data analytics and business analytics has one primary difference, that is business analytics is subjected to have a business knowledge, have human resource data. So that means of you are having a company for which you are doing the data analysis. For example, let's say they are into HR domain or pharmaceutical domain. So then you need to have the subject expertise to take the decisions, business decisions, right? So then that is business analytics. Data analytics is the just analyzing on the given data.